refunding bond ordinance proposal. Steve?
Thank you. Good evening. On September 21st, I sent a letter to the mayor and council with copies to the administrative financial officer and bond counsel, laying out a proposal that was presented to me by Phoenix Advisors, which is a financial advisory firm, whereby the borough could refund the balance of their outstanding 2004 general obligation bonds and save on a gross basis over $282,000, on a net present value basis, a little over $257,000 over the remaining life of the bonds, which is through the year 2021. Essentially what this is the same as doing a refinancing of your own home mortgage or home equity loan. These bonds were issued in 2004. The coupon rates on the principal payments that are left are between 4.25% and 4.3% for the years 2014 through 2021. The anticipated interest coupon rates on the refunded debt is between less than 3/4 of a point and about 2.8%, ramping up to that in the year 2000, coupon in the year 2021. So basically what this is the borough taking advantage of, once again, we're at historically low interest rates, both mortgage rates and bond rates, and saving $30,000 a year for the next 9 years on average. And that savings is net of all the costs of refunding the debt, going to local finance board, and issuing the new bonds. So it's something that a lot of the surrounding municipalities, Fort Lee just authorized a refunding, Richfield just authorized a refunding. There's a lot of them going on right now because there's, again, you go 2002, 3, 4, 5, you're into the 9th, 10th year of those bond issues. The longer coupons were in the middle 4%. You can now go out and issue new debt to replace that old debt at much lower rates and save the taxpayer money. So on your agenda tonight, you have two things. You have a introduction of a refund ordinance for $8.3 million. And you have a resolution on your consent agenda authorizing the application to be filed with the local finance board. If you decide to move ahead, the application would be on their November 9th agenda, presumably on consent, because that's the way they've been dealing with these, as long as all the proper paperwork is filed on time, which would allow us to go out into the market sometime in the second or third week of November, again, depending on what the market is at that point. What this allows us to do is authorize the refunding, get everything ready. When it's the optimal time to go to market, you just go, and by law, unless the borough was saving at least 3% on a net present value basis over the previous debt service, you can't have it. It's got to be at least a minimum of 3% net present value savings. Right now, based on the last analysis that was done, we're about 3.22%.
This may sound like a silly question, but is there any other outstanding debt that we can actually take advantage of by reorganizing it?
No, not right this second. Not right this second. Because typically what happens is when you issue new debt, you can't have a call provision until after 10 years. Because otherwise it makes the bonds just not marketable. Because if you think about it, if you're in the investment community, you're going out and you're buying municipal bonds from any municipality, and there's a call provision early on, then really what stability is there in terms of them being able to turn around and market those bonds to their customers? People that invest in municipal bonds do it because, number one, it's safe. Number two, it's a pretty good return, triple tax-free in New Jersey, but obviously there's a bigger market for a higher coupon than lower. So the answer is once a year we we look at these things. Right now, the 2004 issue, which has a call in 2013, allows us to do a little advanced refunding on this issue, but we don't have anything else right this second, but we're always looking.
You say 2013, but you mentioned 9 years of savings. Is the fall on the 2004 was,
Is 2013.
Okay.
What happens is, we do the refunding, the net proceeds needed to pay off the refunded bonds goes into escrow. And systematically, those outstanding bonds are paid off over a period of time that they come due by the escrow agent. And we just, through our budget process, we appropriate and pay the new bonds at the lower interest cost, thereby saving again. This analysis has a savings of approximately $30,000 a year over 9 years, $170,000.
any other questions? As far as, I guess the other topic we need to hear for tonight is adding staff in the police department possibly, or adding a salary?
Yeah, Mayor, we've had a number of discussions with the administrator, Rick Franz, over this issue over the last, 8, 10, 12 weeks. You've had some retirements over the last 12 months. We're still paying terminal leave and payouts to those people that have retired. The conclusion I think we've come to is that right this second is probably not the greatest time to be going out and adding more payroll. We just finished our first year of the new 2% levy cap. We were very close to being at max at that cap. There was an article in the paper the other day that health benefits are going up, I believe 9% next year. We'll get a little bit of a break. The pension costs are supposed to go down a little bit next year based on the legislation that changed some things with both the police and fire and public employee retirement system. One of the issues you have here is in looking at the contract that's enforced, the steps. Once you get past year 2, the steps are pretty significant, way above anything that would resemble 2% in terms of the hit to the levy cap. And I think collectively our fear is that if you do go out and put more men on the force right this second, that you might be looking at significant budget issues 2.5, 3 years down the road with some of those steps, which would then put you in a position where you would have to do other things, probably less attractive, like buddy programs or playoffs in other places, or maybe within the police department as well, in order to be able to get to the 2% levy cap. So, again, I think collectively, Greg and I and Joe have come to the conclusion that our recommendation at this time would be to maybe sit back and let's see how the 2012 budget plays out, see where we end up with the levy cap, with the other issues in 2012, and maybe go back and revisit that issue
Otherwise,
6, 9, 12 months down the
last year
road.
they hired 8 police.
Any questions? All right. Thanks, Steve.